Hello and welcome to the Super Important Show. I am one of your hosts, Justin Diodato. How are you guys doing? Welcome. We have so many amazing things tonight. We have fishing for sniper rifles. We have Marvin Gaye. He's not here, but you know, we have Ketchup from the Queen. So many things. But before we get into any of that, we need to introduce the other amazing people we have on the show. So first, let's send it over to Heather Jules Booth. Heather Jules Booth, how are you?
I mean, I'm leaving. This is a bait and switch. I was told Marvin Gaye would be here. So how dare you? I'm good. Hello.
Hello. And we have our special guest, Sonia Nam. Sonia, how are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me. I'm so super excited.
Hello. Welcome. For people who don't know you, tell everybody a little bit about who you are. What do you do? What's your deal?
Okay.
I went really Seinfeld there for a second, and I don't know why. Sorry.
What's your deal?
What is your deal? I'm Sonia. I do some improv at the Armory, and I am a dog mom to a adorable pup named Donatello, but I call him Telly for short. And I'm very excited to be here with you all, and Dustin and Heather and all you wonderful people out in the interwebs world. I don't know. I don't know what the slang is nowadays that the kids use.
No one does.
Well, cool. Well, thank you. And we know you love dogs, so later on we're going to show a bunch of pictures of dogs, and we're hoping that you amazing folks in the chat will be able to help us. We are going to show dogs, and you're going to try and not even guess their names, just try and come up with names, because I didn't even write down what their real names are. So we don't even know. So we're just deciding names on dogs because Sonia's very good at that, and it's a fun thing. And who doesn't want to get adorable dogs and cats, which is what we're going to do.
Don't give me too much credit on dog names. I really didn't name Telly, so.
Okay, well, then we've made a horrible mistake.
We'll rectify it, though. We'll fix it by the end of the show.
So let's get into our first segment, which is World You Crazy, and send it over to Miss Heather Jules Booth to tell us about what's crazy. What's crazy today?
Oh, man. Okay. Hey, y'all. Hi. Has anyone ever sat down and thought to yourself, this Heinz ketchup, it's just lowbrow and trash? Well, I have good news for you, because the Queen is launching a royal ketchup. That's right. The Queen's estate in Norfolk is working on their own ketchup and their own brown sauce, which is what they call steak sauce. We think of it as steak sauce. This tomato sauce is going to be made with dates, apple juice, and spices. So imagine they call it tomato sauce, we call it ketchup, and they put dates in it, and I don't think that we do. They have the royal son, or the son rather, has said that this is ideal for breakfast or any time of the day, which made me take a pause, because I was like, what do you put ketchup on for breakfast? And I was like, eggs, maybe? I don't know.
I know that. Sorry, go ahead.
What do you put ketchup on for breakfast? Is it eggs?
Yeah.
Hash browns, maybe?
Yeah, hash browns. Yeah.
I'm not British, so this is probably why I didn't know that.
I know that I'm very particular about what I eat, and I'm sure Joy will mention in the comments. Will give a hell yes I am comment to that. I guess my question here is, who has ever put on ketchup and thought this needs more date?
I mean,
nobody.
I've never sat there and I can imagine the taste of the ketchup that I think we all think of, and I've never thought to myself, man, this needs dates.
Right.
Definitely needs some dates.
Yeah.
What's the other thing they said? The apple juice makes sense. The spices make sense. The dates. That's interesting. It's an interesting.
Yeah. I have a question. I don't know where regionally it's called catsup. Because it's also ketchup, but they call it catsup.
I feel like it's regionally called that in Walmart. Like I feel like people who say ketchup are people who are like, ketchup is too fancy. I'm sick of your like, elitist condiment. So I'm going to call it ketchup because I drive a General Lee. That's my assumption. I don't know. That's probably wrong.
It is.
It is? I was right?
Yes. No. The spelling of ketchup comes from a Jonathan Swift poem in 1730, but people would also call it ketchup. Also, originally it had brined shellfish in it, so yum.
Oh my God.
And then it says it would be 70 years or so before the sauce would begin to incorporate tomatoes and resemble the ketchup that we think of today. In the 1800s, the tomato-based version quickly became popular in the United States and was made by farmers. And then Heinz started producing it in 1876. It says they originally stuck with ketchup, but switched to ketchup to stand out. To stand out. And it says that some people in the South, in the southern U.S., still say ketchup, but ketchup is the main spelling.
All right.
Also that most ketchup, so to put to rest, in case we were wondering, because I was actually thinking this, it is basically tomatoes, vinegar, sugar, salt, allspice, cloves, and cinnamon.
Ooh.
No
So
date.
think about those dates.
They've spilled all the trade secrets.
That article. I guess that article that I just read spilled them. I mean, maybe there's like secrets. Yeah, right. Heinz secret sauce. I guess there's secret ingredients.
Speaking of the word sauce, like steak sauce sounds appetizing.
Brown sauce sounds
gross.
horrifying. Brown sauce, like, let's be real. Brown sauce is like the nasty joke that we make after like eating fast food or something. Like, you're like, brown sauce. Yeah, it's not appealing at all. I also, when I was doing the read ahead of this article, was like, oh, brown sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should brand it better, like how they did ketchup. So I don't know how they would brand brown sauce.
Right. You think the Queen's got people? The Queen's definitely got people, right?
People. You could call it like the royal sauce or something. Just give it some.
Yeah.
The Thames River sauce, because it's probably the color of the river. It's like got bodies in it. I don't know.
Burnt sienna sauce or something like a different.
Oh, that's lovely. That's so much nicer. I like that so much better. So much better. Brown sauce.
So you guys are not going to get Her Majesty's condiments?
I mean, well, you can't, because apparently they are so far only in the royal estate in England. But it does say that they are expected to be sold in the online shop, so I guess you can order it. But they're also going to be close to $9 a bottle, which they're like, the article is like, if you think about, a $3.69 Heinz ketchup, and that is the number that they used in this article, they're like, it's $9. And to answer anyone's last questions, because I didn't bring up this point, but apparently the reason this is coming into existence is because the Queen is a big fan of burgers. So the former royal chef told, I guess, this publication, like, oh, the Queen likes burgers. The Queen likes burgers without a bun, so the Queen needs a little extra flavor. So that is.
The Queen likes burgers without a bun?
Apparently so. Yeah.
That sounds like somebody I know.
Is that you, Sonia?
Nope.
Oh, it's me.
Dustin.
It's Dustin.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be better about bread. That's why it's not like it's like I will eat a burger with a bun if I'm out and it's easier, or if I'm being lazy. Like, because I'm just like, I don't want to grab a fork. I just want to be able to eat this. But if I'm not being lazy, then I'll go without the bun because I don't know, I'm trying to make a false kind of ridiculous thing. So anyway,
it's still a burger, right?
Yeah, it's still a burger at the end of the day. But at least you meet me halfway somewhere. And Joy points out that she's probably watching her carb intake, because
she might be, yeah.
At like 95, you have to be careful about putting on that extra belly weight. You gotta look out.
It's a killer. It's a lady killer.
Do we want to move on to Miss Sonia's story?
I think so.
Okay. Well, this story is about it's about how Marvin Gaye can put you into a mood, especially if you're a Barbary Macaque monkey.
Especially that, yeah.
Anything that came out of my mouth, did that make any sense at all? I don't know. So yeah, this zoo from where is it from? Where did I see this from? Yeah, this zoo from Stafford, and we've discovered this Stafford Zoo is not in this country. It's actually across the pond in England.
Yeah, we got a lot coming from England tonight.
Yeah. What they have done to get their monkeys in the mood was play some Marvin Gaye. Let's Get It On? Yeah, that's the song that they played. So that their monkeys could get a little frisky. And yeah, so that's the odd story that I have. And
So here's what stuck out to me about that story is that, like, it's one thing to be like, hey, Marvin Gaye's going to get these monkeys to do it. Like, it's one thing to be like, for whatever reason, maybe monkeys can, like, appreciate Let's Get It On. Maybe they speak English and understand where the song is going. Maybe that's a possibility.
Music.
The part that made me, like, sort of go, like, why does the guy have to be a Marvin Gaye impersonator? Like, is there a chance that the monkeys are going to go, like, I would have done it, but that guy doesn't look anything like the original singer, and therefore, no, we're going to go extinct.
Monkeys are like, what is this bullshit you're trying to pull?
Right.
They're like, we're not dumb.
what is this monkey business?
Oh man, I missed that. Yes, missed that joke. Perfect. That's perfect.
But I don't well, I think Marvin Gaye's song is pretty, sexy. But I like, and I said this before, like, pre-show, like, what about Isaac Hayes' songs? I mean, they kind of put people in the mood too. I mean, I'm sure that they would put a monkey in a mood.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
literally did that. A monkey in a mood.
That sounds like a song right there.
Yeah. Audrey in chat is pointing out that she does love monkeys jamming out to Marvin Gaye. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all do. Like, if it works, great, by all means. Like, I just feel like you're gonna get the same effect with an iPod. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get the same effect just like opening up YouTube and just blasting it, as opposed to, having to do, like, if anything, having a dude there is going to make it, like, more awkward, unless it's like those types of monkeys that like you to watch. But I don't know if that's the case.
Maybe they want, like, the guy to make intense eye contact with them and just be like, and like singing at them.
Right, but then do we want those monkeys to reproduce? Like, isn't that like a weird monkey? Like, that?
In the article, it said that these monkeys are kind of vital to the ecosystem because they poop seeds.
There we go.
And also, and I think they're native to Morocco. I'm not sure. I have to read the article again, I guess. And they're also vital to tourism. So economically, they're important as well as ecosystem-wise and economically. A lot of echoes.
There's a lot of eco things happening.
Oh, yeah. Ecos. Sorry, I said it like echoes. Like ketchup and ketchup.
Yeah.
I'm so upset by this. I don't know why. For whatever reason, this story just, like, it throws me because, like, I don't know, because the way I'm picturing it is like, and I saw some video of, like, the dude singing, like, he's just out in the middle of, like, nowhere. They just had it's like, so the plan was like, okay, we're gonna bring in a guy who looks like Marvin Gaye. He's gonna sing some songs. Are we assuming that the monkeys are then just gonna do it, like, right then and there while the public is watching? Right, but then also, like, people are there, they're watching because he had an audience, and, like, isn't that the thing that you owe? Like, if you're going to a zoo like 50-50 you got kids. Like you bringing your kids to Marvin Gaye Gets Monkeys to Do It Day, I guess is my point. Like, isn't that, like, I know neither of you are parents, but if you were parents.
I am a dog parent.
You are a dog parent. Would you, I feel like it's different because, like, you might bring Telly to see monkeys doing it. But, like, I don't think you would be, if you had like a 5-year-old, would you bring them to the zoo to see monkeys doing it?
I mean, it's nature, I guess. I mean, if you want to teach your kids at a young age about the birds and the bees, I guess. And I wouldn't take Telly to see monkeys do it because it's a little cruel because he already is fixed. So, yeah, it's not, it would be nice. But you had said something when you had said a lyric that reminded me of a Marvin Gaye song, and it was like nothing like the real thing, baby. So it's like, I feel like I'm kind of on your side with this. I think the monkeys might be offended that they don't have the actual Marvin Gaye singing the songs for them. So yeah,
well,
I'm on your team, Dustin.
Yeah, I mean,
also,
that is not an option. I agree.
What if that's not the song they're into? What if they're like, I don't know.
Well, again, maybe Isaac Hayes, maybe his songs might do it.
Did anyone ask these monkeys? Yeah.
All right, we got in the chat a real life version of the story. Apparently, Audrey,
oh my God,
little sister, watched lemurs do it at the zoo, and she was too stunned to cover her eyes. So Audrey, with a follow up, but she seems fine now. But like, is she? Like, is she? Like, is like, how old? How old was she when this happened? Like, how? Like, it's weird because, like, okay, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to go home, and I'm going to ask you to call your little sister and ask her how it affected her sexually to see the lemurs doing it at the zoo. Like, does she think it had any impact?
No, don't ask her that, Audrey.
I don't know why you're giving her that assignment.
Don't ask her that, Audrey. You do not need to ask her that.
You don't need to. You're not obligated to do it. I'm just saying. Apparently she was 6 years old when it happened. Okay, then don't ask her that. then I retract my previous statement. I assume that she was in her 20s, where it is a viable question to ask, but let's do not.
It's your sister. I don't have a sister, so I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like that's the same as like parents. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't talk to my sister about that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, Audrey brought it up to the public, so I assume that they are very, very comfortable with all this. And for those who are not watching the chat, Audrey says no, she is not going to talk to her sister. So we all went on that journey together, and now here we are. Anything else on the monkeys, or should we move on to story number 3?
Dustin, I'm dying to know. I've seen your headline, so I'm dying to know what you were bringing us. Okay,
all right. So, Florida's always being Florida. Florida's like, so what I learned about when I saw this story is apparently there's normal fishing and there's something called magnet fishing. And what magnet fishing is, you take a very thick piece of rope and you throw it in the water with like a big old magnet, like a hockey puck sized magnet, and see what you can bring up. So for this story, a bunch of a grandfather and his grandson went magnet fishing and caught sniper rifles. So the guy's name Dwayne Smith. He brought his 14-year-old grandson who's autistic, and he was like, hey, fishing is hard. Magnet fishing seems like an easier thing. Let me bring him magnet fishing. He saw a bunch of things on YouTube about it. He thought it would be a lot of fun, so he brought him fishing. They were there 5 minutes. They threw the magnet into the water, and 5 minutes later, they brought up 2 sniper rifles from like, because they were fishing off of a bridge. They brought up 2 sniper rifles.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because someone threw those.
Right. Dwayne Smith is a former military guy, so he was familiar with sniper rifles. Figured out that it was about 20 grand worth of sniper rifles that were wrapped in plastic.
Murder.
Yeah, and had the serial numbers shaved off of them, like when they actually got them home. So these were like definite murder rifles that had been thrown off a bridge, and now like the murder weapon has been found. Like they sent it to the FBI, who is definitely trying. Like I'm sure is trying to figure out like who was killed with these rifles. But like that's fishing in Florida. Like you fish here, you'll get a boot. Like you fish in Florida,
maybe a needle.
Definitely a needle. But this was a place called Homestead, just outside of Miami, which is where you're going to sniper rifle somebody if you are going to. So that happened. I don't even really know what to say about it other than like it's just crazy how like somewhere there's some dude who's just like, oh fuck me, like we can't even do that anymore. Like,
I can't, all I can think of is like the Scooby-Doo, like they finally break these guys' doors down, these people's doors down. I'm not going to assume. And they break the doors down, and the people are like, what? How did you find me? And they tell them, and they're like, well, Dad took his kid fishing, and he's like, I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you, darn kid. And I'm just picturing that.
Right, and it's like, didn't you, like, I know it's slightly different, but like, but haven't you seen Dexter? Like, Dexter was smart enough to go like, I'm going to get a boat, and I'm going to like, I'm going to ride out, and I'm going to dump the bodies out like in the middle of nowhere. So like, you can do it with rifles.
Yeah, you know what bothers me about Dexter and also this story is why are you wrapping things in plastic? Like,
that's a good, yeah.
Why are you doing? You're preserving evidence. So like,
That's true.
Yeah, you can shave off the cereal. But your fingerprints are on there. You're like DNA. I don't know how I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but I'm assuming like the oils from your fingers are still there and stuff. So that's what always bothers me when I see people wrap. Like, I can understand why. I mean, I'm trying to. The logic escapes me for why you would wrap things in plastic, unless it's biodegradable plastic, and the fishes will eat it.
I feel like Googling this is going to get me in trouble, but I just Googled why do you wrap things in plastic to toss them in the river. I don't actually. I'm not getting an answer, which is probably because it's not a good question to ask.
Yeah. Audrey pointing out Dexter had on gloves when he was doing everything.
Yes,
but anyway.
Yes, and that makes sense. Oh, well, that makes me feel better. No, it doesn't. Why did I say that makes me feel better?
But here's the thing, and I'm gonna go on a little bit of a diatribe here, and then we'll move on. But like your comment of like they'll preserve the fingerprints. You're wrong. That's like a lie that they tell people because our apartment got broken into a while back when we were in Astoria, and we're like, oh. Like, clearly, there must be fingerprints. People broke into the place. And they're like, it's really hard to actually get fingerprints. And they're like, I was like, oh, but clearly they picked up this vase or whatever. And they're like, yeah, no, you can't get fingerprints off a vase. And I was like, okay, well, they touched the TV stand. Like, oh, you can't get fingerprints off the TV stand. And it's like, oh, but they touched the doorknob. And they're like, yeah, you can't get fingerprints off the doorknob. No. Basically, like, it has to be like a very flat, specific, like, kind of thing. Like, there's like, very few things you can actually get fingerprints off of. We would always make the joke that the only thing you get fingerprints off of is fingerprint paper. So the idea that like, I mean, I guess the plastic probably helps, but like, it's so much harder to get fingerprints off things than it seems like. You watch CSI and they get fingerprints off of like,
Oh yeah, they're dusting things. They're putting tape, like the Scotch tape. I mean, I don't watch CSI, but I've seen plenty of other procedural shows where it's like the little Scotch tape, and they've got like these perfect finger. I'm disappointed. I was really excited by that concept. They
came and they like put black crap all over stuff, but like they got like no fingerprints off of anything because that's like it's so fucking hard to preserve fingerprints. So you know what? Don't like wrap it in plastic. You're gonna get away with it. Like that's just
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, also you're dealing with the NYPD, so they probably thought that, you know what? Let's just tell them it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, that yeah.
I don't know. Not pointing fingers. Not saying fingers.
Right.
Well, I mean, why would they point fingers? They're not going to use the fingerprints.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to matter.
That's right, Joy.
Yeah.
Or they were messing with you guys.
It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's very legitimately possible.
I don't know. Just saying.
So anyway, getting back to our story for a minute. Apparently, magnet fishing is very successful in general.
I'd never heard
Yeah.
of this, by the way, until this story. Like, when I saw this headline, I was like, what is magnet fishing? Because I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I learned about a thing today.
yeah. Normally, people get like bottle caps or like but I mean, like, people throw guns in the river, and somebody's got to go get them. I did remember. I do have the picture. These are the sniper rifles. These are.
Oh, so they were in
my
there for a
goodness.
while.
Yeah, they were in there for about a year.
Wow, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Those look grody.
Yeah.
Well, now the kid has fingerprints all over it.
Right. Maybe
I also
that.
like that this is the sweatshirt that this child is wearing with these rusted. Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, Joy and I live right by the George Washington Bridge, although it is very, 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 very tall. Maybe we should go out and magnet fish. Yeah.
I'm curious what you get.
Yeah.
You'll get all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Nothing good. I'm assuming.
All sorts of murder weapons. I
All
assume.
Yeah.
good.
I'm assuming the river will just eat through the rope, but we'll see.
True.
All right. So now it's time for us to get into our new segment, which is Name That Pet, where we're going to show pictures of different pets that we don't know the names of, and try and come up with fun names for those pets. I tried to find unique, ridiculous, weird ones. So here we go. I already feel like I know the name of this fish, of this pet, but I'm going to open it up to you guys. Here's our first one. And because we could do this forever, I'm setting a timer. We have 2 minutes to name each of these pets. And I very much want chat to chime in. I will bring up every answer that is so super fun. So let us go with our timer. Sonia, we're going to go to you first.
Oh, I'm going to name him Pondre.
Oh.
Pondre.
Pondre.
Okay.
Do I have more guesses or no? Is that it?
I mean, for me, it's like I like Joy's. Joy went with Lawrence Dogberg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joy's really good at naming things.
I mean, this, like, I don't have the pun. I'm going to need you guys to help me with the pun here. But this dog is the Idris Elba of dogs, as far as I'm concerned. Like,
Yes, this dog is a very hot dog.
yeah, like he's got
Hot dog.
he's got the swagger and all that. Like I'm fully on board. Like, but I don't know an Idris Dogba. Is that a thing? Like, I don't know.
That's pretty good, Dustin. That's
take
pretty
it.
good.
I'll take it.
Okay. Heather, what do you got?
This dog's name is Sir Houndstooth.
Okay.
Words.
Ooh.
Sir Houndstooth. That is
See-
this dog's name.
So you think he's royal?
Absolutely. He's
Yeah.
extremely royal.
Oh, I was thinking, because of the scarf, I was thinking like I'm cooler than you, but not in like a royal way, in like you still go to that club kind of way. Like, but that's fair. Royal is also legit.
This is a very proper dog. Very
Okay.
royal, proper dog. Yeah.
Okay. Any other chat guesses? Or we shall move on to our next dog.
Easy.
Um,
Oh no! Oh no!
he is judgy. He is very, very
He's very
judgy.
judgy.
Yeah. I don't have a good one for this dog. Because he's very suspicious. Like, for some reason he reminds me of House. So I'm gonna call him House. Like
I like that.
the doctor kind of, but not like a house.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the house. House is a weird word. But okay, Heather, what do you think?
Ooh, this is tough. Because this dog is a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe that's the dog's name. Mood Ring.
Okay.
Mood Ring. Yeah.
And we got a couple in the chat.
Oh my God, Audrey. Yes. That's the name of this dog.
Yeah.
Correct. The correct name, Audrey.
Sonia's also got another option.
Wait, Rue Bark is even better. Oh my God. Tiny T. Is he throws shade? Oh my God.
And you could also drop some tea too. So
yeah,
he looks like you could drop some tea. The name that I thought of was Pickle Snoop Bottom for some reason. I don't know.
Pickle Snoop Bottom? Okay.
Yeah. Pickle Snoop Bottom.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah, he looks like a pickles to me.
Okay. Should we move on to our next pet?
Yes.
I don't remember the order that they're in. I think there's a bunch of cats coming up. This is a very romantic cat.
Boy. Oh.
So
wow.
I'm gonna go with Cyrano on this one, maybe because I just saw the commercial for it. But like, I feel like he's very romantic. I feel like I feel like this cat's gonna like say the right words and then leave the next morning. Like I feel like.
Well, this cat brings you the rose in order to get fed. You give this cat the food, and then this cat is like, "Thank you," and leaves. Yeah. Oh boy, what a great cat, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate Joy's answer of cat. He's the cat.
It's
so good.
I'm not gonna think of anything better than that. That's amazing.
No, that's the tops.
Yeah.
Bachelor. Oh my God. Edward Cuddleton. Oh my goodness. These are amazing.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Do we have any others, or do we want to move on to? Have we already? This one's already won.
You can't top Catchler. Like,
okay.
You can't top Catchler. That's perfect.
All right, then.
So what a great cat.
Let's move on. Let's move on to our next one. This guy who is very freaked out about what's happening right now.
He's so cute. I mean, do we have to come up with puns?
You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
I mean, like, he looks like an Arnie to me. Like, his name is Arnie.
Okay.
Yeah.
He reminds me, for whatever reason, who's that? Jim Varney, I think, is it like the guy who
played Ernest?
Yeah.
Ernest.
This seems like the Ernest dog to me. So I'm gonna go with Ernest.
That. Yep. I see that. Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
Audrey went with a very simple Steven. That's
I think that's
okay.
Fair.
That's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's good.
That's a good name for a dog, Steven.
Yeah. And Joy added on Arnie, the background actor that over emotes.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yep. That's exactly. That's 100% this dog.
I love that. Yeah.
This is a weird segment. This is a weird but fun segment. All right, so let's move on to our next animal. These cats, very serious.
Oh my gosh, this cat's got his own stuffed toy, so you know he's a big deal.
Yeah. I'm frightened by this, but I'll go to you, Heather.
This is a great cat. This cat's name is Stormy Weatherpurr. That's this cat's name. That's my name for this cat. And I would give him all the snuggles.
Audrey just went with Happy, which is a... Look, I feel like I'm being hypnotized by this cat right now. Like, I feel like even in a still image, this cat is trying to I guess, like, he reminds me a lot of, like, Which like Pinky in the Brain, but I would go with this dog being like the brain. Like I feel like this dog would try and take over the world. I mean, this cat would try and take over the world for sure.
Yeah. I would go with Sir Mr. Belvedere.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good name.
I like that you're giving him two.
Yeah, two titles.
Yes. Joy's saying we'll be sending him all the Bitcoin, which is fair. Good use of Bitcoin, even though I know that Joy and I both are like not 100% sure how Bitcoin works, but she used it in a reference, and I am totally on board with it. All right. I forgot to do the timer, but that's fine. We're moving along, so it doesn't matter. Let's move on to our next animal.
Oh my gosh.
This is in fact a cat with bunny ears, but here's the thing. I don't think that he's unhappy about the bunny ears. Like it feels to me like he's unhappy with something else.
You're
You think?
wrong about that. Yes.
Like I'm not saying that he likes the bunny ears. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he likes the bunny ears. What I'm saying is that he's upset about something else also. Like that is not like
well,
this.
The trim in the background might be, but otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's the bunny ears.
So cute.
I feel like Joy is the queen of this game. She went with The Grinch That Stole Easter.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah, Joy, you're killing it in the chat with this game.
Joy's really good at this game.
Right, I can't compete with this. I cannot possibly compete with this.
Well, my name for this cat, but only in the ears, is Hop Along Cat City.
Okay. Cool.
I would probably name.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I'm sure 2 seconds after this picture was taken, maybe less, that cat was like, get this off me. So funny.
I agree with you, Joy. He's probably part of the mafia or something.
All right, moving on to our next cat.
Oh.
He's just chilling.
He's just cute.
Yeah.
Just got his paw in those eggs.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna go with Mr. Whiskers on this one because this feels like generic cat to me. So I'm gonna give it a generic name. God damn it, Joy! You're so good at this. Joy went with Grinder.
No. That's a sweet cat. That cat is so like, cute. What? I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, that's the whole
into stuff. What?
That's the whole point. I should go with Dr. Ekman.
Oh my gosh, adorable. You could call him the milkman. He's getting into the eggs. Milking eggs. That really makes sense, but I like it.
Yeah. Damn it, Joy, you're so good at this.
I was going to name the cat something with eggs and cat, but I forgot it. It just flew out of my brain.
I mean, you could just call him Mr.
Catley. Eggs Catley.
Eggs Catley, yes. You could just call him like Mr. Whiskers also. Mm-hmm. He's just really cute. Yeah,
I think we stay simple on this one. All right. Moving on to our next one. Is this puppy dog? This is the only one whose name I actually do know, so I feel like I'm biased. I feel like I need to stay out of this one.
Wow. I mean,
this is like a full-on like anime dog, as far as I could tell. Like this dog is on like. I'm going to say Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's because I don't know any current anime. And I don't even think Yu-Gi-Oh is anime. But if this dog was on Yu-Gi-Oh, it would make sense. But that was when I was in like high school. Although fucking again, Joy.
Wait, before you put Joyce. Oh, I was just gonna say. I was gonna do it.
I also think that this dog has some kind of like,
Joy.
Yeah.
Doggy, like Katie Doggy or something. Yeah.
You want?
Or the dog's name is like
Pari, like PAW.
Yeah, Katie Pari. Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
Guys, you want to know the fucked up thing is? Like I said, this is the only dog whose name I know. And fucking Audrey got it right. This dog's name is Cupcake.
Wow, that's hence the cupcake jewelry.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Audrey, you are right.
That dog is so comfortable wearing that wig. Or is that Photoshop?
No, I think that dog's just chill.
Wow.
That's my guess.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's move on after this one we got figured out. This
the child.
This little lady.
It's Yoda. It's just Yoda.
It's called the child.
We're just gonna go with Yoda on this one.
It's called Grogu.
Oh, but what can we do? It could be like Ruffku, Grogu. Growl. Yeah.
Guys, you already lost. You already lost.
Oh wow. Yeah. Boy, Joy, you're really good at this.
Game over.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm still playing this game.
Right.
Just
Joy's champion. Like I feel like I feel like we just move on.
This picture's too cute.
I just okay. We got this guy.
It's called Stuck.
Yeah. Buster.
It's so cute.
It's Buster, and he gets busted. Like, no.
Although I wouldn't go to Buster too early because I think we have another Buster coming up. But maybe I don't know. We can say
I just Kevin.
That's fair. Enjoy. Joy once again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Joy, you were built for this game. You were built.
You know what?
To play this game.
Joy is totally slaying this game. So good.
Let's move on to our next dog. I think we're almost out, guys. We still got a few more. This dog seems horrified by everything that's happening right here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the face that Telly makes every time I go to hug him.
Really?
Yeah. They say that dogs don't like hugs. They like snuggles and stuff, but they don't like hugs.
Speaking of, like, we've come this far. Are we going to get a Telly cameo? Are we going to get? Is he going to?
Do you want a Telly cameo? He's right over here. Don't mind my mess. But there he is.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Telly, you want to come over here and say hi? I can't get him any closer, but there you go. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, Teddy Belly.
In the meantime, Joy won this game fucking again.
What she's
Oh yeah.
Steve from Chemmy.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
That is his name. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh Jesus! I am blown away by how good Joy is at this game.
She's very good at this game. Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's why I said don't go to Buster too early, because I feel this is a Buster. This is like this is definitely like a. I'm not gonna say it's a MAGA dog because it might not be a MAGA dog, but it like
no dogs should be MAGA dogs.
No, this is just it's a sweet dog. Got into some brewskis.
I feel like he would say catsup.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also use a magnet to fish for things.
God, I feel like Joy's cheating. Joy must be cheating because
no, Joy is really smart.
Harry the
Joy's
Cable
not
Guy.
Cheating, she's really smart.
Yes.
Oh, that is so cute.
She snuck in here and looked at these pictures, worked on it all night. That's why she got very little sleep, because she was cheating on this game from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's the only explanation.
No, Joy's just smart. That's the explanation. Joy's just really smart and funny.
Oh,
We got this guy. We're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. Joy says thank you for that guy. Like,
I feel like it's Miles. He looks like a Miles to me.
yeah. He's got some music-y name. I like Miles. I like that.
Okay. And
Miles.
Joy, I do have faith in you. I do have tremendous amount of faith in you. It's just you're so good at this. I'm blown away. I'm doing nothing but complimenting what you're saying. I'm putting up all of your really good ones. And
Lenny Kravitz. Oh my gosh. Yes.
you're crushing it.
Yeah.
All right. I think with that may be the last one, but we'll keep going until because it'll rotate back around. Yeah, it rotated back around to our original dog.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
We need to do that one again at some point when we find because trust me, it's not hard to find pictures of dogs on the internet and cats. There are.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah, there are a bunch of them. So that's.
Was there an even ratio of dogs and cats in this, or no?
No, because we originally had a bunch of dogs, and then I threw some cats in there, and then the system like took what it took. It was a whole thing. Nobody wants to get the science behind it, but there was technical shit that went down. That it was pretty close. I feel like it was close. I don't know if it was even. Anyway. So that is Name That Pet, a game that clearly Joy is a god at, and thank you for
I would totally want her
all
on
of your
my
comments.
team.
Yeah, because this actually should.
Audrey had some good ones too.
Yes, she did. Yeah, Audrey, you killed it as well. I do not mean to slight you in any way, shape, or form. You did an amazing job. That brings us to our final segment of the day, which is a Would You Rather. So let us get into our Would You Rathers. I believe Heather, you're up first.
Yeah. I got the first one.
Yeah.
Would you rather rid the world of serious drugs or guns? Parenthetical is in the question. So we're just going to open it with a heavy hitter.
Right, because just to be like clear, like when we, like if I feel like if pot was included in this, it changes people's answers. So it's like everything that's like above like stuff that's really not going to mess you up. You know what I mean? Like like pot and like a couple of other things. I don't know drugs, but what do you? Well, I mean, it's your question, Heather. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to Sonia first as our guest.
I would say I would rather rid the world of guns.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like, if we're not talking about regulating or anything like that, if we're talking straight on, like, because I feel like with guns, there's so much violence attached to guns and stuff like that. With drugs, I mean, it's pretty bad. But I don't think it's as bad as guns, because guns, there's lots of intent that's behind it when you use a gun, versus drugs. Drugs are actually mostly you think about, well, for me anyway, I think about drugs as a recreational type of thing. I know that there are people who are addicted and things of that nature, but it's not an outward. I don't know if it's. This is a hard question. Sorry.
No, that's the point.
And I have so much judgment to it, and I feel bad about sometimes putting too much judgment to it. But I feel like with drugs, if you're doing an excess amount of it, you're doing it really to yourself, and you're not really you are affecting people around you, yes, but I feel like of the two evils, I feel like the guns should go versus the drugs. Because drugs, at least you can maybe go to rehab. I'm being very living in a bubble type of thing, but with drugs, you can maybe go to rehab, maybe you could be I don't know, drugs. I feel like you could have something where it's not final versus guns. You know, once that happens, that's kind of it for the most part. Taking a life. I don't know. Sorry, I feel like I was rambling, but that's my. Would you rather get rid of those guns?
Okay.
Dustin, what do you think?
I went back and forth on this pretty heavily. I ultimately went with drugs, and here's why. Because guns do kill like a lot of people. Both of these things kill a lot of people. But for guns, like a lot of people were getting killed before guns, I guess is my point. Like, as a civilization, we figured out ways to do bad things with weapons, whether or not they were guns or knives or swords or, you know, whatever it is. Versus, like, I don't think that the drug epidemic that we've run into was something that is necessarily easily matched throughout history. I think there were, you know, people who overdrank and things like that. And like, but like with, you know, some of the drugs that we've discovered that are like crazy, highly addictive that didn't really exist back then, like those sort of things just weren't happening. So I feel like if you got rid of, you know, if you got rid of drugs, like, and again, the serious ones, then you would have a bunch of people who were alive today versus if you got rid of guns. I feel like there's a decent chance, like, as a society, we would have figured out some other way to do bad things. So I'm gonna go with drugs, which is not probably surprising for me since I did a whole show about never doing drugs. It doesn't really like affect my life a whole ton.
My money was on you saying this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not very well educated on either of these two topics. So there's very little that I'm going to say because it's hard for me to give strong opinions about things when I'm not really well read or well educated on them, because I just feel like I don't know. But my gut says, I am with Sonia. My gut says guns. I think that, yes, there's a lot of problems that drugs create, obviously, but I just think the amounts of devastation and things that we have done with guns, I think the world would be better off without them. I just do, you know.
Okay.
We were just watching this video before where it was talking about, and I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it was talking about like people who like don't live in America anymore, and like the things that have made them realize that there are weird things about America, and like a couple of them talked about like growing up with school shooting like training and stuff. Trigger warning, sorry everybody, but like active training and things. And I like actually looked at my husband and I was like, this is crazy. Like, we didn't grow up in this era of like having to grow up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And how awful is that? Like, how terrible is that? And that's all guns. It's just, and then that's like that is literally, like I said, I am not educated on this topic. So it is literally just, that's my like impulse. It's my emotional response. But I think of all the things and all the devastation that I can pinpoint that it's caused, that I just think we could do better without.
Okay. Did you have the version, like our version for me growing up, for like the, you know, like the drills they do in school and stuff like that, was the hide under your desk for like nuclear attack kind of thing or whatever. Did you guys have that?
I was like right after that, but I certainly knew about stop, drop, and roll, and
okay.
like that it was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like my school growing up had specific spots like that were considered like where you went to hide in case there was a nuclear attack. So like,
okay, yeah,
yes,
yeah. I don't think our school did. We just had the like hide under the desk, and like even at like 6, we were collectively like, nah. Like it's like, I don't know why you're having us do this. We know better than this.
I also think they told us stop, drop, and roll for fire too.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was right. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll was only fire. Yeah,
fire, and it wasn't. Guys, I know what stop, drop, and roll is for. When that nuke goes off, I'm going to stop, drop, and roll.
And everything will be fine.
That's the one I remember. Stop, drop, and roll for fire.
Okay.
I forgot that it was for fire. So clearly that that lesson stuck. But
Yep.
yeah, Audrey, that's messed up. Like, I hate that. Really hate that. Like, really hate that.
Yep.
That's no.
All right. Do you want to move on to number 2?
I think so. I think chat. I don't know. Did chat have any? Yeah, this is a tough question.
Yeah, it's a
tough question. Respect, chat. I understand. This is a tough one.
Sonia, we're coming over to you.
So my would you rather is would you rather have to insult 10 random people on the street or slap one of your choosing? I feel like this is a very easy answer for me.
Okay, just for the record, the one person of your choosing is a person on the street. It's not just like any old random person. I mean, it's not
a person.
Right, I know, but it can't be like my 3rd grade teacher. Like, it has to be somebody who's like on that street.
You don't get to pick.
Well, then you should have specified.
Yeah, that's misleading. We're in agreement.
Because it's too easy. Nope. If it's too easy, like
then you should have phrased your "would you rather" a little better.
Yeah, are we slapping one random person or insulting 10 random people?
You are. Okay, you're on a street. You're on 34th Street right now.
I'm on 34th Street.
Yeah, just picture you're on 34th Street.
Wait, and is it towards the west side or the east side?
Towards the east side.
The insults change if it's west side or east side.
You're on 34th Street, and there's a little like person in your ear, and that person will tell you either we'll pick 10 people that you'll have to slap, or you have to insult, or you get to pick one person who is walking by on that street and decide to slap them.
This is hard now because
that's the whole point. It's not supposed to be easy.
Well, the reason why I say this is hard because, like, what are the repercussions? Like, am I going to go to jail for assault?
No, because the police know about it. The police are aware that this is happening. You have a freebie here.
Every other day in New York.
Right. Like that person could hit you back, but like you won't go to jail, you won't get in trouble. You're totally fine.
Okay. What about the other repercussion if the person slaps me back? Just kidding.
That's the risk you take.
I would rather slap one person because the insults, that old saying of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I feel like words will always hurt me. So I would rather have one slap back rather than 10 people coming at me because just because I insult them doesn't mean they'll insult me back. They could also be physical. So I would rather have one slap back versus 10 things that would come back at me. And also, I'm not really good at insults. The best insults that I come up with are like, I don't know, you're too tall, and I give that insult to you all the time, Dustin.
Yep. I never took it as an. I didn't take it as an insult until now, but good to know. Good to know that it's been an insult this whole time.
It's secrets revealed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really good at insults. My insult power is very, very low.
Okay.
Okay, so what about you, Dustin? What would you choose?
I would probably go with slap as well. Just because I wouldn't want to risk insulting somebody that didn't deserve it, but I would know that the person I slapped deserved it. Because I get to pick. I'm like,
wait a minute. How do you know that person deserves
it?
Right?
If it's random, if they're a random person, right?
Right, but you get to pick. That's the point. You get to, like...
But you're still we had to pick a random person.
But it's not like you're picking a person you know. I cannot agree with...
Wait, are you telling me... You're telling me...
I respect your right to slap a person, but I disagree with you saying that you're picking a random person. If it's a random person, it's a random person. So you might slap some old grandma who, like, who knows?
No, but you get to pick the person on the street. Like, so it's a random person in the sense that you don't know them, but it's not a random person in the sense that it could be any. It's like you're picking the person who you get to slap. And I know for a fact, and I defy either of you to prove me wrong on this. I challenge either of you to prove me wrong on this. You can definitely at any time walk down 34th Street and find at least one person who deserves to be slapped. There's always one person.
I can find at least 10 people to insult, maybe more.
Right, but that's why it's a difficult question, because you won't know if you're going to get those 10 people, because the 10 people are chosen for you, whereas the person who you slap is chosen by you. So you may insult a grandma who's really nice and taking care of their kids, and you have to go up to her and say something awful, or you could find like some jerk who's being a jerk to people and just slap that person. So that's why I'm going with slap, because
this is a rigged question.
I think
how is it a rigged question?
This is a rigged question.
As we went along.
Yeah. Agreed. Hey, do you know what I choose? I choose the insult, and my first insult is that this is a rigged question.
It is not a rigged question. It is not a rigged question. It's not a rigged question. It is a awkwardly worded question, but it is not a rigged question.
I will legitimately choose the insult 10 random people, because I would just use it as a reason to like hone that type of skill, that like comedy skill.
Roasting, because
that's what I was thinking of just like roasting. Mm-hmm. I would be fine roasting 10 random people. Like, I'm not gonna like do it my whole life and stick around and just sit and be mean, but I think of it as like that, where I'm like, I'll roast 10 random people on the street, sure.
Yeah. I feel like you would do a good job at it too, Heather.
I think I could. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
But then I also have moments, Sonia, where I say similar things to you, where I would just be like, look at you, legs. Yeah. Wait, walking around on those legs. But also like, that's fine. If that's my insult, then that's my insult. And I will stand by that insult. Yes, Audrey, exactly. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, you're going with insult. I don't know what Chad said. I feel like just to make it even, just so you don't say that it's rigged. We'll go with.
Feels like it's a mix.
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah. We'll make it even, and just reading is fundamental. I agree.
Thank you, Audrey. Yes, it is. And the library is closed on this question officially.
I did not realize this question was going to turn into what it turned into. All right. So
I'm a good reader. I am not a good reader.
Oh, really?
No, I can't read people. No.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So this one actually comes from a real life thing that I found out about recently. So we probably talked about it on here before. I am part of a blind hockey team. And the weird thing about being part of the blind hockey team is that like we never really talk about what each person's like visual like impairment is. So like some people have what I have, some people have different things or whatever. So I found out about one recently that I was just like, I don't know which one I would rather have. So basically like the choices here are be similar to me. I went with a higher number because I felt like it was easier, of having 20% vision like I have. So it's sort of like, very limited kind of thing. Or what this person has is every once in a while, his like vision will sort of like disconnect so that like he'll go completely blind for like 2 seconds and then be normal. Like when his vision is not doing that, he can totally see. But there's 2 seconds of just like it all being gone, which I was like, that makes so many things so much more difficult but also like easier because like 98% of the time you can function just normally, but you never know if you're going to be in the middle of the street. You never know like, you know, what the situation is going to be, versus like my thing where at least it's reliable and I know what's going to happen. And so like, I was like, I don't know. Joy in the chat is asking the question of how often does this happen? And I clicked the wrong thing, but that's fine. We all get it. I believe like, I don't know the actual number. Let's just say, for the sake of like this conversation, so that we have some place to talk of, let's just say once an hour for 2 seconds, his vision will go away.
Oh,
Well, that's a lot.
Right.
yeah.
So Heather, I'll go to you because I don't know the answer to this and I'm living it. So I need to go to somebody.
So I'm going to assume that this question implies that you cannot wear corrective lenses, that it's like 20% vision.
Yes.
You have to live with it.
Yeah.
That's tough because, so I have very bad vision. I wear corrective lenses so that I'm able to see. If I did not wear corrective lenses, I would be considered legally blind because I can't see anything. And I hate it. It's awful. So I was like, at first when this came up, I was just like, oh, I don't want 20% vision. Absolutely not. Like I already have terrible vision and I don't want to deal with that. But if it's like, I was on board with the 2 random seconds, but if it's once an hour, that's terrifying because that's a lot. Like that's a lot. That's many times to have to. On the other hand, it's only 2 seconds.
Right. It's 2 seconds essentially, like, you know, we'll call it like 14 times a day.
Yeah, there's very little that I feel like you'd be doing where you'd actually be at a risk. And I agree, those things are like crossing the street, driving. Like driving's the biggest one that I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to be driving and have those 2 random seconds of blindness.
Right. Because you don't know where you are.
Things,
you can't just like slam on the gas. Like
right. Most other things I think you could get by. Again, also as somebody who like my contact falls out or some bullshit. Like, well, there goes my vision, and I've gotten used to maneuvering. Like it would suck, but I could get upstairs. Let's say, like I could walk up a flight of stairs without my contacts in. It would be terrible, but I could do it. I could get around. I would just be doing a lot of, all that stuff.
Aw.
Oh, no. Yeah, Joy, what if your little niece is jumping into yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We went serious tonight with a lot of these, but like,
oh my God. I think I have to be realistic that I'll go with the riskier one. And I will make the conscious choice, if this were me, to try and engage in less of those risky things, which I know means I'd be limiting myself. But I really would hate, like if I were to take my contact lenses out now and just be like, that's it. I can't do anything. I mean, I would feel far more incapacitated, I think, than having the ability to choose, like, well, I'm not going to do this thing because I might have those 2 seconds. And it is only 2 seconds. Right.
So you're going with 2 seconds.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
It's a thinker, though.
Sonia?
Okay, let's count what 2 seconds are. Well, I don't know if you do this way or whatever. There's people who do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, or 1 100, or 2 100, or something like that. So let's count how long it takes. I mean, if you guys want to do that experiment with me, close your eyes for 2 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. And then randomly, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Yeah.
But I do have to kind of align with Heather with regards to the 2 seconds of 2 seconds of blindness. But I know that if I were to do that, I would probably not do certain things. My vision isn't terrible, but I do have to like wear glasses, but I never do. The thing is that like for me, visual things are very, very important. I draw. I'm an artist on the side, so it's kind of important for me to be able to see things. So I kind of equate the 2 seconds of random blindness to being like, it's happened to me where I just like got up too quickly and then like I couldn't see for a couple of seconds, or like maybe being distracted for 2 seconds and things of that nature. So I would probably choose 2 seconds of random blindness. I know if I know that if that's the thing that I choose, then I have to be responsible and know that I wouldn't probably operate heavy machinery, make sure that I am with somebody if I cross the street, or like ask somebody to like help me or whatever, whatnot, just in case, because of the randomness factor. Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool. Obviously this one's a difficult one for me because it is a practical reality to some degree. Earlier in the chat, I brought up Vinny's comment of 2 seconds wouldn't be that long while driving, and I think Joy had a good response to that, which was, unless a kid or deer runs in front of your car, like that's the thing that makes it the most difficult to answer, is because you don't know. I was thinking about it because I found out about it right after we had finished playing hockey, and there were a bunch of times where I, with my weird vision, got disoriented on the ice and I wasn't 100% sure where I was, and it was like really freaking me out. And you're moving fast, you're on ice, you're sliding around, and the thought of just everything going dark for 2 seconds just instantly petrified me. I am not as intimidated by the 20% vision thing because I am at 9. I just chose a number that was going to be less immediately appalling to people. So I think, although truth be told, given what I know about both, I think I would probably go with you guys on the 2 seconds every hour, just because to some degree, if you if you know it's coming, and like with 20% vision, you have to make a bunch of compromises to begin with. So right. You're making the same compromises, except the time where you're not there's other times where you can still function normal. So, in this case, it would be 2 seconds of being petrified every hour, as opposed to a low level of stress all the time. Or a high level of stress all the time, kind of depending on the day and the situation and how hectic things are. So, I guess I would have to go with the 2 seconds of blindness. Although I do appreciate the fact that there is a decent debate about it in the chat.
I feel like that with this question, the 20% vision would also not be subject to any. It'll be constant. You can't have anything that would cause you not to go the 2 second blindness. No, there's no way. So if you have the 2 second blindness, that's only for that particular affliction. I don't know. What do you call it?
How do you mean?
The 20% vision, you can't lose your blindness at all. You can't go blind at all. So there will be no point in time, unless you're sleeping, that you would go blind.
Right. Yeah. Just for the sake of discussion, yes, you would know that that you would 20% would be your status quo for the rest of your life. So
now I don't know because I don't want to get scared every hour. I'll stick to what I usually put.
Okay. I feel like the debate in the chat is enough that we're not gonna weigh it one way or another. So it looks like 2 seconds of blindness won in this Would You Rather. And that's our show, guys. That is what we got.
Ooh.
That was a That was an interesting one. This has been a fun show. But we got serious in our Would You Rather today, except for slapping people and you guys calling it rigged, which is, which is ridiculous. Sonia, where can people find out about more where you're doing? I have a graphic for it, but I will ask you to say it anyways.
I play at the Tank on Friday evenings at 9:30 with the Armory House team. And I also do Shot for Shot at the Shill in Astoria. The next one that's coming up is Grease. I play Sunny in that. And it's going to be a great time. So if you are hankering for a good time, please come to a show at the Tank, 9:30, or I'll see you at Shot for Shot.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Well, not this Saturday, the following Saturday.
Right. And you can find Sonia at Sonia Nam on Instagram and
Telepop. That's where my baby is.
Yeah. Cool. Heather, do you have anything that you would like to share?
It is in 2 weeks, but I am also in Shot for Shot Grease with Sonia. So see me in that too. I'm playing Frankie Valli and Teen Angel. So I'm going to sing two of your favorite Grease songs. I'm very excited.
Nice.
It should be really fun.
Cool. And for me, we'll be back here next week. And also I have episode 3 of How Should I Know, the trivia show that it is, I believe, what is it? Thursday, March 3rd. I can't believe we're already in March situations coming up soon.
That's in 2 weeks.
That's in 2 weeks, yeah. So it's not this Thursday, it's the following Thursday. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, Diodato on Instagram, which, again, next time I'm on vacation is when you'll see pictures because I am very bad at this.
That show is so much fun. Please, everybody tune into that trivia show. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. And thank you very much. I enjoy it and enjoy trying to figure out ridiculous questions to ask people. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Sonia, thank you for being part of this. And we'll see.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. And we will see you guys again next week. Bye.